So we're going to start with our first pitcher is going to be Clara Bio. I think he's right over here. So you understand the rules, right? All right, come on. Five minutes, and then we will cut you off at 5 minutes. It's not to be rude. It's not because we're mad at you. And then 2 minutes of Q&A. All right, you ready? Pumped?
2 weeks ago, my brother was diagnosed with leukemia. Recently, a father who lost his child to cancer, after hearing about the technology that we're developing, asked me a question. He said, "Is the technology your company is developing, could it be used to develop a screen for all children to make sure this never happens to a family again?" And the answer to that question is yes. And while that may sound audacious, this has become my life's calling. My name is Jim West, CEO of Clara Biotech. And when I met Dr. Mayhe at the University of Kansas and saw the work that she was doing, I dropped everything to come on board. Now you may be saying to yourself, this guy sounds a bit like that Theranos lady. And for that I apologize. I do have a naturally deep voice. Now hang on tight, you're about to hear the world's shortest story on exosomes. Raise your hand if you've heard of exosomes. All right. Exosomes are made by all cells, and they act as a communication network in the body. They were discovered 10 years ago, and they hold inside of them the potential for diagnostics for cancer, Alzheimer's disease, and a lot of other diseases, as well as therapeutic treatments with targeted drug delivery, cancer immunotherapy, and tissue organ regeneration. They have significant healing properties. And in this 10-year-old field, there's more than 100,000 researchers today working on exosomes and their applications. And they all have one major problem. Their problem is the gold standard in getting exosomes out of a fluid is a more than 1 day process that has really low quality and contaminants of viruses, DNA, and other cell debris that they can't get rid of. Folks, it's happening right here, right now in Kansas City, and I'm proud of our breakthrough technology that meets all the needs of industry. I got back a few weeks ago from a conference and can tell you, our technology moves the industry forward years today. This industry of the research is growing at 30% year over year, and our technology enables the clinical market. It's a blue ocean opportunity that we have the opportunity to own. Now, we're not going to solve cancer alone, but we're a key that other companies can build applications on top of. We're an industry multiplier. And we're working today with early paying customers using our proprietary patented technology, like Pfizer, who last week told us our technology was extremely compelling. Or the first company developing a prostate cancer based on exosome markers who told us that our technology was the holy grail of the industry. Now, I need your help, your support, but more than just money, we need your connections, and we need the Kansas City community to come together to support us. If you want to be a part of the revolution of the next generation of medicine, be a hero, join us, and help us develop the platform that enables tomorrow's medical breakthroughs today. Thank you.
All right, so at this point, we're going to start 2 minutes of Q&A. So questions for Clara Bio.
Our main function, the question is our main function cancer? The answer is no. Our application is on the isolation of these exosome particles from any biofluid source. It's a platform that cancer therapeutic and diagnostic companies will be building upon to get products to market. There's a number of companies with technologies in the research space. Today, there are no companies that address the clinical needs and requirements of getting through the FDA with all the clinical part that goes along with it. Today, it looks like we have a monopoly for that application.
What do you need today?
What do we need today? We need customers, and we need employees. We need to grow our team, and we need funding and revenue. Yeah, it's a spin out from the University of Kansas. My business partner is the inventor and a professor at the University of Kansas. We have an exclusive license to the technology. We have 6 patents in development, 2 that have been issued. We don't require the question is, where are we in the FDA process? We don't require the FDA approval to sell our product. It's up to our customers developing a clinical, medical, diagnostic, therapeutic to go through the regulatory process. We just have to do a certain level of validation in our manufacturing, but we don't need their approval to sell. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so guys, so that was Clara Bio, and at the end, once we get through all 3 speakers, we're gonna have them line up, and we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, so when you know who you're voting for when it's time to vote. So up next, our second picture of the night is the Guy Experience. Come on up, you ready? You pumped? Let's do this.
Oh, I get the taller one. Okay, I got you. Oh, a little lower. Ready? Hello, my name is Jaron Thornhill. I am the founder of The Guy Experience. The Guy Experience is a premium experience management company for the 21st century guy. What we are, we're an all-in-one service app to make date night and guy trip planning easier than ever. Who does it? George. George is the male Siri. He's the man's best friend. And I'll tell you about him later. So, I did a survey over 250 men, and I asked them 2 simple questions. I asked them, do they have trouble planning date night? And if they don't, do they know someone that has trouble planning date night? You know what I got? I got 240 answers on this paper that says, hell yes. So what I realized is, when it comes to planning, men are so simple that we're complicated. And it's all the same things when it comes to date night and guy trip. It says, we don't want to make the reservations. We don't have the time. We don't have city connections. Or we just don't know the new restaurants and things in the city. So what the Guy Experience do, the Guy Experience actually does all that for you. So George, let's talk about George. George is the male Siri. He's the man's best friend. He's the guy, the city connector. He's the one that gets you in the door. George is the guy that everyone wants to know. What he do? He actually takes premium experiences, premium food, and premium transportation and allow you to create your day your way. And what he does, he even takes it a step farther. He allows you to pay through him. So when you go to these places, you don't have to worry about what costs or anything like that. He actually has a pre-select menu for you. And when you go, you get the premium concierge feeling. He also sends out the transportation. He picks you up at point A, wherever you're at, your hotel, your home, anything like that. He takes you to B, C, and D, and brings you back to point A. George is the guy that everyone should get to know, and he's the guy that plans these date nights. So let me tell you, let me show you an example of George. So George is the future. So right now, what everyone does is Google. Everyone says, hey, Google, what are things to do in the city? Hey, Google, what are date night ideas? Hey, Siri, what are things, where can me and my wife go? Hey, we got some guys coming in town. Hey, Siri, things like that. So I'm going to show you the difference between George and Google. Let's see if this works. This might work. All right. Can you help me out real fast? All right, let's do it. Hey, George.
Hey, Taryn. Half date.
Cool.
Hey, Taryn.
Yep, let's do it. Hey, George, can you plan me a date night? My anniversary's coming up December 17th at 7 p.m. Let's see.
Half day or whole day?
Let's do half day.
What type of experiences are you looking for, Jaren?
Hey, I'm thinking about taking my wife to the gun range. I want to spice it up for our anniversary. Let's see.
Cool. What type of food?
The type of food we're trying to do?
Chocolate.
Oh,
Cool.
I want to do steak and shrimp. I'm thinking about, I like steak, my wife likes shrimp.
What type of food?
Oh.
Roses or chocolate?
Oh.
Cool, Jaren.
George even chooses the roses or chocolate. So, I'm thinking about roses.
I got you down for a date night, December 17th at 5 p.m. We at
Oh, sorry, we're 5
Gun Range date night. Steak and shrimp is the food, and transportation will be there at 4:30 p.m. sharp with roses in the back.
Hey, George. Thank you, man.
Hey, Jaren. Happy anniversary.
Yes. So what I asked for today, I asked you guys to help me build out George, help me go to the next level. I also asked for access to Lee Summit, Kansas City, to the great bars where we can actually get these date nights. And I also asked for you guys to follow me on social media at The Guy Experience. At The Guy EXP, you guys can meet George, and we're looking to launch in 2020 on January 1st. So there you go. Oh, yeah. Any questions? Yes. Through George, through the site. We have a half day and full day already selected through different packages. We have different packages set out. We have different packages already set out, and then based off of things you choose in the city, we can have George work with you and set different price points. So you can book through the website and things like that. Through right now, we're looking through PayPal and Stripe, so things like that. So we're having different payments that way too. So, yes.
You have to tell them what part of the city you want to go in. Can I narrow it down to just Crossroads or just?
Yes, so that'll be phase 2 of George. George actually personalized and geolocation things and like that. So for right now, he's going to do pre-select location, premium things that he chooses that he feels that should be on the platform. Yep. Anybody else? What happened again? Oh, my city rollout. We're looking to launch in 9 cities, but so we're looking to. She asked, what cities are we looking to go in? What's the city rollout? So we're actually looking to start in Kansas City, and then we're looking to be in 8 cities by the end of 2021. We're looking to go St. Louis across the state. We're looking to do Atlanta, Miami, Dallas, Austin, LA, and New York. Yes. Yeah, so that's where phase 2 and phase 3 come in, where George actually becomes personalized, and he can, where you say, oh, well, based off of your past trips, you say, hey, he likes wings, so when he goes to this city, let's recommend the best wings in the place for him, you know. Yes. Yeah, so we're looking to get the API, open table, things like that, to actually get access to these places. 2020, January. We're rolling out with the website. Yeah.
All right, guys, so that was the Guy Experience. That was number 2 on the voting ballot. And then up next is Dynamics. All right, is Dynamics ready? All right, perfect. And so doesn't hurt, go ahead, introduce yourself, introduce your name, and then tell us all about it.
Thanks a lot. My name is Patrick Hosty. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the software company Dynamics. Dynamics helps cities and companies target climate action and measure impact. The United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, says that 19 million children will be threatened by climate change in Bangladesh alone. Bangladesh was one of the inspirations for Dr. Sunny Sanwar to found Dynamics. Sunny immigrated from Bangladesh in 2005, and since then got his engineering degree, a master's, and a PhD at UMKC. Sunny also was working for Jackson County's data department and started his first clean tech startup, Vertigo. Sunny sold Vertigo to a company here in Lee's Summit and thought that climate change could be solved a better way using data. For 5 years, he studied climate change and developed a simple, scalable software as a service model that helps better communicate climate change using data so that cities and companies can all be on the same page. Today, so let's look at how this impacts a city like Lee's Summit. In 2011, Lee's Summit paid a national engineering firm $80,000 to conduct a climate study. And where is that information today? We don't know. It's mired in spreadsheets and information on the internet. It's hard to find, and we can't measure where we've come and where we can go. Dynamics changes that. Dynamics shows us where we are, where we want to be, and how we get there with a simple data as a service model. Today, we can also show really high growth, impactful companies here in Lee's Summit, like QM Power, Exergonics, and even Spear Power Systems, all that are using technologies to impact climate and improve our world. Dynamics is a software as a service model, and we connect with cities to sell our services so that cities and companies can pay us an annual subscription and offer our services free to their customers and citizens. Dynamics helps all of us stay on the same page, literally a web page like dynamics.com. And I think my time is up. Oh, sweet. So, as I mentioned, the City of Lee's Summit paid a national engineering firm $80,000. We would offer our service to the City of Lee's Summit and need your help, and our ask is to you to help us get climate data in the hands of the City of Lee's Summit, so we can take that stale information and show where we are, where we want to be, and how we get there. Together, we would offer this technology to the City of Lee's Summit and you, its citizens, for $10,000. And today we're asking you for a vote, and should we happen to win any amount, we would reduce our amount to the City of Lee's Summit by that amount. So please help us with climate change. Sign up today. I'm passing out some flyers, and on those flyers you can see current data for the City of Lee's Summit. This data has not been updated since 2011. So we have the data today, and we can help you have a better tomorrow. Please sign up on dynamics.com. I'd love to take your questions. Thank you very much. We are up and going right now. Currently, we're working with 2 cities, and we have our first corporate customer, which is a Berkshire Hathaway portfolio company. Yeah, we have 18 different data sources, anywhere from census data to the Carbon Disclosure Project. So we take publicly available information, a few privately sourced information that we also have access to. We amalgamate all that into a simple and easy to use display for cities and its constituents to use. Yes, ma'am. She asked if there's any AI or machine learning, and yes, that's what our technology is built around. That's a mouthful, but we do have proprietary technology that we have filed patents on. Totally. So are we a data solution, or are we biased towards the result? We are data, not politics. So simply put, spreadsheets really suck, and people have a really hard time amalgamating a bunch of spreadsheets and dealing with them on a day-to-day basis, especially around something as complex as climate change. So what we do is we simplify that data and put it in an easy-to-read format that can put everyone on the same page. Literally, a web page, like Dynamics.
So that could be accessed down to look at what you're already doing to compare whether we want to be on board in that same realm, right?
Correct. So what he asked is we could put, what he asked was, would we get everyone on the same page? And that is correct. So by using a simple to use data set, we can show someone in Bangladesh the same information using the same platform and the same technology as someone here in Lee's Summit. So Lee's Summit could compare themselves to anyone around the world.
Thank you, Patrick.